Hi, everybody. This is Trina Ramsey, and I'm here for another Power Talk here in our group, Finding Power in the Shadow of Shame. I'm super excited to be here, and this is the third week of this quick 20-minute session. Do it every week, 8 p.m. Wednesday, Eastern Standard Time. And my particular power talk is on women 40s and beyond. So I'll do a very quick intro. I'm hoping that by now there are some people who are getting to know me, so I won't go into a whole lot of detail. And if you're here, say hi in the comments so I know you're here. This topic today, we're going to have, I'm hoping, a lot of interaction. I have a lot of questions for you guys. This is kind of a meaty one. All right, today's topic is the third lesson in my book that is literally going to print. It's called Just Do You, A Declaration of Independence from Guilt, Obligation, and Shame. And I'm here because I'm one of the contributing authors to a book that we put together recently this year called Stuff I Never Told, Finding Power in the Shadow of Shame. And I'm very proud to be a part of this project. And I want to shout out Amy Brooks, our fearless leader, who came up with the project. And I actually got to write about some things that happened in my childhood. And it really did set me free. And so rather than just have the book be something that you read and put down, Amy decided to put a group together. And then she recruited a few of us to actually have weekly Facebook Live discussions. So there are two other women, and I'm going to mess up your topics, so I'm not even going to go there. I'm not even going to go there. But today we're talking about women 40s and beyond. Tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Trina Ramsey. I'm a career and life coach, and I'm located in the Washington, D.C. area. And I'm just becoming an author this year, first with the Stuff I Never Told project, and now with my brand new book, Just Do You, A Declaration of Independence from Guilt, Obligation, and Shame. And this book is actually something that I started working on as I was turning 50 last year. And it's a collection of 50 lessons that I've learned over my 50 years of life. But more than just me writing about lessons about my life, since I'm a coach, I decided to make it interactive. So it has journal prompts, it has space for journaling, and we literally are going to print. And so when we decided to start having these Facebook Live sessions, because my tribe is women who are in their fierce 40s, fabulous 50s, and sensational 60s, who have spent a lot of time focused on other people's priorities, Amy thought it would be a great idea, and I was also thrilled to oblige, to focus each week on a different lesson in my book. So that's what we're going to do. And this week is the third lesson, and the lesson is entitled, If You Want Things to Change, You've Got to Put Your Butt on the Line. If you're watching, please go ahead and share. This is a public group. Anyone can join us. I would love to have a robust conversation tonight. Otherwise, I can just talk. Yeah, I got a big mouth, so I can just talk. But I love it when people talk back to me. So if you are watching, please say hi in the comments, and we'll get a little bit of interaction going. So let me set the stage a little bit. This lesson is really about upping your game and accountability and risk. And the truth of the matter is we can go along life in complete autopilot, just putting one foot in front of the other and living life just a day at a time, a week at a time. And we can look up and 5, 10, 20 years have passed and we realize that we haven't actually pursued what we really wanted to in life. Or we've settled for things that are not quite what we were looking for. And then we look back and go, gosh, I wish it could have been different. Well, guess what? It can be different. It can be different starting today. And all you have to do is step out on faith. And that's what we're here to talk about, okay? So, as I said, sometimes we get in a rut, and I'm speaking from my own personal experience because I started my coaching business 9 years ago, 8 years ago, 8 years ago. And I was at a weekend program with Momentum Education, and I was angry. I was angry and mad all the time because I just was in this job where things were happening and I felt powerless and I was angry at people. And if anybody knows me, I'm a very positive person. I can usually make lemon out of lemonades pretty quickly. But in this particular instance, I was stuck, and it was a January, and I went to the weekend workshop not realizing just how dramatically my life was going to change. Because at that weekend workshop, I actually said yes to my dream of becoming a coach. And it's something that I actually had not even allowed myself to think before. And this is how insidious negative self-talk can be. Again, if you're here watching, go ahead and say hi in the comments so we can talk a little bit. And if not, again, I hope you're enjoying the recording, and I hope that we'll be in touch. But in this case, I had actually thought several years prior about becoming a coach and talked myself out of it in 30 seconds. And I basically was telling myself I didn't have the credentials, I didn't have experience, I had been working as a nonprofit fundraiser for years, and so I was like, no, Trina, you can't do that. You're a fundraiser, just go keep being a fundraiser. And when I got to that weekend workshop, my eyes opened, and I actually began to see myself for all of the potential and all of the possibility that I had. And this is not a commercial for Momentum Education, even though I believe in the organization wholeheartedly, and I'm still involved with them because as a graduate, it really changed my life. It's more so about you. It's about what's next for you, and what dream are you not allowing yourself to dream? And what are you allowing yourself to have as autopilot as it can't happen for me because I'm not this, I'm not that. I don't have this resource or education, or I've only done this, or I've made this mistake in my life in the past, or that there was someone in your life who told you that you can't or you're not enough. Well, you are enough, and you can if you want to. Now, the whole putting your butt on the line thing, that really is about once you make a decision, say what you're going to do and then do it. This is personal integrity. This is really about owning responsibility for who you are, for what you have to offer in life, and for what your potential future can be. So in the book, I go into great detail and some exercises, but today I just want to throw out a few questions. And again, if you're here, please go ahead and respond back. If not, we'll just leave them as introspective questions for you to think about as you are moving forward in your life. First of all, the question is, what exactly does it mean to put your butt on the line? Well, for me, I think what it means is, first of all, deciding and putting some skin in the game. And so in my case, what that meant was I actually had to go to coaching school. And after years and years of putting my children first, and they went to private schools, and we had tuition to pay for private school, and me always going without, I decided that I was worth it to actually spend the time, the money, the resources to put in the work. So I went through a program that was very robust. We had multiple facets, IPEC coaching. So any IPEC grads out there, hi, or students, it's a fantastic program if you're thinking about becoming a coach. It's a great program to use. But for me, that meant I had multiple 3-day weekends in classes. I had projects. I had group work. I had peer coaching. I had mentor coaching. And I had to, as a working mom, and oh, by the way, as a divorced working mom with 2 kids, figure out how I was going to do all of that and how I was going to take things to the next level for myself. But I decided I wanted it, and I decided I was worth it. And so here we are 8 years later, and I have my coaching practice. I am actually marketing my 3rd annual women's retreat, and shout out Nayshell of Swag Events, who I'm partnering with this year. It's going to be fantastic. And I get to actually be a coach and get the joy of really working in the field that I enjoy. Um, Deciding to write this book was another stretch for me. I had thought about becoming an author. I had tried a couple of times to write a book, and it turned out pretty crappy, so I abandoned it. But this time, I think I've got it. And I also want to say thank you to Kim Brown of Minerva Rising Press, who is my editor, without whom I would have been a little bit kind of aimless wandering around. I don't doubt that I would have gotten it done, but Kim, you definitely helped me up my game, so I want to say thank you. So here are some questions for you. Number 1, what have you said no to yourself to in the past? What are you saying no to yourself to right now? There's something that you want. There's something that you want to change. It could be little or it could be monumental. I'm going to talk about Amy for a second. She and her husband are moving their family to Costa Rica because they decided that they could do that. Now, can you imagine the amount of research, time, energy, money that they had to put into how they were going to figure out how to relocate themselves and 3 boys to another country? But they're doing it. They decided to put their butt on the line. They decided they wanted something different, and they decided to figure out what it was going to take to go ahead and go for it and make it happen. And they are actually making it happen. So good for you, Amy. I am so thrilled. I can't wait to see how everything progresses. And I really hope that I'll be able to join you for one of your retreats in Costa Rica while you're down there. Now, of course, not everybody's going to relocate to another country. But, maybe you want to move to another city. Maybe you want to try another career. What is it that your heart is telling you that you really want to go for, but for some reason you're holding back? You're telling yourself, I'm not enough. I don't have the money. I don't have the resources. I don't have the education. I don't have the support system. Where there's a will, there's a way. I hope you believe that. If you're with me, say it to yourself. Where there's a will, there's a way. And while you're watching, I want you to actually take out a piece of paper right now and write down one thing that you would like to do differently. Hey, Stephanie, good to see you back, girl. Write down one thing that you would like to have in your life that you don't have right now. It may be about career, it may be about romance, it may be about a fabulous trip or adventure that you would like to take. What have you said no to yourself about? Write it down. Now write down a few reasons why you said no. Are you with me? Are you doing it? Please play along. You'll be glad. Okay. So now I want you to write down 3 things that would be a positive for making this change. Why do you want it in the first place? Is it going to help you earn more money? Is it going to make your life more exciting? Is it going to help you reach a goal? Some people want to go back to school and they just haven't slowed down enough to figure it out. They don't think they can afford it. Do you want to go and finish your degree? Do you want to get an advanced degree? You can do it. It doesn't matter. Okay, this is the 40 over crowd. You're not too old. You're not too old. There are 60 and 70-year-olds who are getting bachelor's, master's, PhDs. If you want it, you can have it. but you've got to put in the work. And that's what the putting your butt on the line is all about. What resources do you have at your disposal? So think about, what are the positives? Are there people in your life that care about you, that will support you in achieving this goal? Do you need somebody to help you figure out how to get your kids covered, pick them up from school, help you out with meals, all those types of things? Write down a few people who can help you. And guess what? Okay, here's the scary part. You ready? You got to open your mouth and ask for help. Yeah, I know. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm sorry. I have fun here all by myself. Um, but seriously, a lot of my clients, a lot of the women in my tribe are super women, Wonder Women. And we spend a lot of time suffering in silence because we think that we have to do it all by ourselves. When in fact, by and large, even if there's not a whole bunch of people who are just throwing money at you, like, who has that? Some people do, actually. So good enough. That's awesome. But a lot of us, it's not like that. But there are people who love and care about us, who actually, if we opened our mouths and asked for support, they would give it. I had to do that for my book. I mean, writing and self-publishing a book, there's a lot of expenses. And I actually asked for help. I asked people for money to help support me in this venture. And they did. You're not always going to get a yes, but sometimes you do. And I'm so grateful. But that's another way of putting your butt on the line as well, is working up the bravery and deciding that it's worth it. That someone might say no to you, that someone might laugh at you, that someone might tell you the things that you've been telling yourself about why you're not worthy, and what are you thinking, you're crazy and you don't have time for that, and what about your kids and they need you, and whatever the people in your life usually say to you. There are some other people who will be by your side cheering you on, and they'll say, girl, that's a great idea. I always saw that in you. You should go for it. How can I help you? If they don't offer for help right out, they can actually, if you come up with a list, I'm telling you, are you writing? Make your list. Make the list of the things that you need to make this happen. And then if there is really something that's burning in your heart, there's a desire that you want to achieve in your life that you've said no to, this is my challenge to you today. We only have a couple minutes left, but this is my challenge to you. Take one action. Take one action. And that could mean doing some research about going back to school. It could mean pricing out that trip that you want to go on and figuring out who can support you, or who can go on that adventure with you. It could mean asking family or friends to support you if you need to have somebody watch the kids or help you out with meals, or maybe you can barter with some people about covering kids. There's a lot of creative ideas you can come up with. Once you say yes to yourself, and once you become determined, you can actually figure it out. But it's the saying yes that is the very first step to putting your butt on the line. So I'm about to wrap up, but let me ask you, did you come up with something? Is there something that you really want to do? Did you come up with your first step? Did you write it down? Did you think of the one or two people that you can share this dream with? Because that's the other thing, having accountability. If you tell somebody you're going to do something, it holds you more accountable than if you think it, oh, someday maybe I'm going to do it. Maybe next year, oh, nope, Okay, here's another year. We're in July. What goals did you set in January that you haven't started on yet? It'll be December and January again before you know it. You can get started today. So I'm going to wrap up. Next week's lesson is a fun one. It's called Have More Fun More Often. And last week we talked about all work, no play. So next week we're going to talk about play. Yes, Stephanie, have more fun more often. We deserve it. We got to get a little more play and laughter in our lives. So as I wrap up, I hope you've enjoyed this session. To learn more about me, you can visit my website, justdoyouinstitute.com. And I actually have a brand new free gift on there that I'm really excited about. It's called Creating Your Own Manifesto for an Authentic Life. So if you join my tribe and sign up for my list, you will immediately be able to download that. You'll get an email from me with a download, and then you will also, as a bonus, get the first 3 lessons from my book as a thank you for joining my tribe, and I hope to hear from you soon. So if you like this, share it. If you like being in this community, invite some of your friends along. These are really important topics that we're having. I came up with other topics. One is on power journaling and one is on divorce. The next couple of days, there's 3 ladies so far who are doing these power sessions. So check back in the group, Finding Power in the Shadow of Shame. And again, I'm your girl, Trina Ramsey. Thank you for joining me. Stephanie, great seeing you again, girlfriend. And I'll see you in our group. Have a great night, everybody.